Hi there, and welcome to the June Base Race Build Edition with John Fowle. Um, so this month's theme was music, and I'm standing up here in the trees listening to the cows make their beautiful music. But more seriously, let's take a look at our building. So we're looking down at my kind of take on Symphony Hall. Um, Kind of based. I grew up in the Boston area, and Boston Symphony Hall was the inspiration for this build. This is a much simpler version, obviously, um, but I'll show you what we did. Let's see. Come down here. So I set up a little building base over here. Everything I needed, but this is the build itself. And so I made the main facade of the building out of stone bricks. Um, and actually, let me pause for 1 second. I'm going to pull up the list so I can go through exactly how I made it and how I used all the materials. Okay, so it'll show you the inside, but you can see on the outside of the 9 blocks, the 9 primary blocks in June, we had an unlimited amount of stone bricks, diorite, andesite. So those were the primary external blocks. I tried to do a little bit of recessed walls for instead of like regular windows. You wouldn't have windows in a symphony hall because you want to keep the acoustics inside. So we'll take a little spin around the building. We have a little back door entrance over here. Some small side doors in there. We'll show that in a minute. And then one feature I did want to show you, I think it's worth doing because I'd spent a good bit of time up on the roof. And this is where I used some of the specialty blocks. So I used the spruce logs to make this archway over here, and I used some of the 30 hardened clay basically to surround this, and I think this was to look like a fan. I think that comes out pretty well. The 4 hoppers. The tracks are just ornamental. I also made other fans. In a building this size, the heating HVAC is going to be a big deal, and so use the pistons and the droppers to make these large-scale fans that look like that, and then some of the stone bricks like that, and I attached the roof with a little more of the hardened clay. So that used up all the hardened clay, all the droppers, all the pistons. Up here on the roof. Now let's head down. Good timing because it's becoming night. Let's take the shortcut down. So a little few of the decorative blocks out front. The gold block over the central door and the chiseled stone blocks, which I almost added an extra 4 minutes to my race time because I made cracked stone bricks the first time. And the lapis blocks here. I also around the foundation around the building is the rest of the stone bricks, the andesite, and the cobble. I used a little bit of that inside as well. So let's actually enter into the main hall here. So here's Symphony Hall. We have main rows of seating here, lots and lots of seating. We'll just go up this side because both sides are the same, they're symmetrical. You can come up to a landing. We have a balcony here with 2 rows of seats where you can see the stage. Excuse me. And then a second balcony up here as well. Again, 2 rows of seats on both sides, with some different lighting. So lighting here in the back, and then some chandeliers down the middle where I used the redstone. You'll see over here I used the iron bars and the glass to line the balconies. I'll use a ton of the wool, the black, 30 black wool to do this, and down there it was 45, and so it came out uneven, so I used the last piece. This is 44 here, and you can see the bookshelves here, and then the last piece of black wool I used here. And over here I have a little, let's go ahead and, this is my favorite disc. Can put in a little music. I use the enchanting table as a kind of like a composer or a stand. I used the wool, turned some of it into carpet to light up the stage, so there would be lighting. I used some of the polished granite in different places, so you can see some of it behind these fences up here to make the backing behind the orchestra, where there is usually some acoustic panels and things, so I try to get that effect. I also tried to get the effect of the recessed ceilings here. So you can see a pattern, slightly different pattern in the front than in the back here. And then underneath these fences on the side, you can see just 12 of the cobble blocks got used to kind of give it that grate feeling underneath there. And the 5 redstone blocks you can see. Let's dump that out. It can get a bit old. So then we have backstage. So I lined here with this very simple backstage and way to get out on this side. And on this side of backstage, we have the basement. And started with a very simple tune. The beginning of one of the themes from the Lego movie. Everything is awesome. I am going to turn this into a doorbell, as you can see some of my redstone there. A couple problems. One, it's just the building's so large, we're too far away to hear it, so I need to move everything down. And doing a full-length song, I had about a couple days to do this build. With the note blocks is a little bit out of control. So, yeah, that's what my inspiration was this month. Again, at Symphony Hall. I really like how it turned out. I like the balconies especially, and I actually kind of like the chandelier, but maybe my favorite was how this turned out up here. And so what you'll notice is some areas that you can see the exposed brick on the outside, and other areas I've lined with the diorite. So actually I started building this section first, and I built the floor and all the floor seatings, and then the inside of, pretty much the inside of the building. And then after the inside was done, I encased the inside in the bricks, the red bricks here, the clay bricks. And by doing that, that's how I was also able to get this effect, you know, with the, where there's this inner wall and outer wall. Ouch. Okay, it is nighttime. And yes, we have some nice weaponry here. But whoa, I'd like to not die while during my episode here. So I'm just going to finish off these few mobs and sign out for the June base race, Symphony Hall. Hope you like it. I don't mind it. And I really had a lot of fun. especially watching other people's races this month. I know people had a hard time with some of the items and other things this month, and I got pretty lucky. So I'm sure other months I won't be as lucky. But hope you like the build, and hope to see you all next month when we try base race again. Thanks so much to the MobCave, and thanks so much to all the other competitors and everyone who comments on the videos, and leave any suggestions or next steps for this build in the comments. We'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye for now.